Hello, everyone. Welcome to this live session. Please give us a minute to just sort out some technical glitches here, and we will start the session in another 2 minutes. Sorry for the delay. We are back, and we have Dr. Anvitha Shetty with us in the studio today. And let me give you a quick introduction of what we are discussing and about Dr. Anvitha. So, welcome to today's live session. This is about hormones, energy, and why you're feeling tired all the time. This session is especially an ode to women who do it all. And recently, Women's Day has gone by, but we think why celebrate women on just one day, right? Hustle all through every day, 365 days, with your journey as a professional, a mother, a daughter, a sister, a wife, in different roles, right? You wear different hats. So, yeah, today's session is dedicated to you, dear women. So, we know so many women struggle with unexplained fatigue, mood swings, and brain fog. So, we're here today to get you the real answers. Joining us, as you can see, is Dr. Anvitha Shetty. She is a practitioner at Apollo Clinic, is associated with very beautiful work at an NGO that I would like Dr. Shetty to talk about. And she's a specialist in healthcare, as you can see. And to break down all of this issue that you've been dealing with, we she will help you with the best answers. So drop in your questions in the chat if you have any, and let's get started. Hello, Dr. Anvita.
Hello, Kensuk. Thank you for this introduction and also giving me this platform. Thank you to Clay Preschool as well.
Dr. Anvita, would you like to tell us a little more about your work, what you do with the NGO, which NGO you are associated with?
Sure. So I work for an NGO called 1 Billion Literates Foundation, which is based in Chandapura and Anekal. They started their work with education and now they have moved to the health sector as well. We work for a program called the Public Health Initiative, where we run mobile health clinics in the Indlavadi Primary Health Center area. So if you take the map, then it's the border of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. So we run a mobile NCD unit there, and we have been doing that since last 3 years. We also have around 17 to 18 health workers who are upskilled women from the village. That
Got it.
is the thing, just a
Got
bit.
it. I think that's a very beautiful initiative to take healthcare to women, in these remote areas, and for healthcare to become accessible for them too.
Yeah,
So yeah, thank you, Dr. Anvita. Diving into the questions. So we ran a poll on our social media platforms, and what we saw was that more than 90% women agreed to the fact that how much ever they sleep, there is still a certain amount of fatigue that they feel, through the day. So I think that reinforces the need for this session, and for them to get more clarity on how and why this is happening, and how they could help themselves to live a life with better health. So,
yeah,
starting with first things first, and I am that woman too. So yeah. So we have a question from one of our audience who had posted to this before. So why do I feel tired all the time, even after a full night's sleep? So even when we wake up in the morning, we feel tired.
yeah,
What could be the
yeah.
reason?
See, when you say health, health consists of five aspects, and sleep is just one of it. Okay,
Yeah.
so there is sleep, there's diet, there's exercise, there's mental health, and then finally the physical health. And physical health is something which we are keen on because those are the elements which give us low energy, low mood, and they affect our day-to-day, habits, and that's what we consult a doctor for, or that's what we take treatment for. Okay,
Right.
and coming to the first one, the sleep, even though you would have had a full nights of sleep, but it also depends on the quality of sleep. And coming to quality, what I mean is you might go to bed at around 8, but it might take you up till 12 to, go into sleep. You might just be, turning and twisting in the bed. Or you might wake up in the middle of the night again and again. Or you might wake up suddenly in the, before the expected time, and then not you're not able to go back to that deep sleep again. So this, when the quality of the sleep is affected, even though you feel your body has slept for those 7 to 8 hours, you wake up tired. Then is the diet. It's what you eat, how much you eat, and when you eat. So if you have lots of sugars, lots of simple carbohydrates basically, and less protein in your diet, then your mood, your energy, everything is affected. And then coming to exercise, people say, okay, I go for work, I walk so much distance, I do physical work at my work. That doesn't mean they're exercising. Okay, for example, a woman in the kitchen, we do a lot of work. We might sweep, we mop, we consider that as exercise, but technically that is a part and parcel of our life. We need to exercise to release the endorphins in our body, something which gives us that happiness, which makes us refreshed. Okay, so that is one aspect to it. And then moving on to the mental health part of it, that is something either we are shy to talk about, or we think that it's a part of life. I have stress at work, everyone has stress at work. So that's okay. But truly, it's not okay. That affects everything in your life. Okay, and then your hormonal health, that plays a major role in how you feel, with what energy you wake up, how much work you get done in a day. It affects each and every stages and steps throughout the day. So yeah, those five of it. So it's not just sleep. Sorry, Kinsuk, you're muted.
Got it, Dr. Anvita. Thank you for that explanation. And I think that clarifies it to some extent, that even if we go to sleep in time, our food habits and the amount of time that we take to fall asleep and go into deep sleep is important. But could you also help us with how we could fix this, uh, for any woman who's has a number of things to do during the day? How does she fix it? Some simple tricks for that.
Yeah. See, first of all, when you have to fix the quality of sleep, have to start maintaining a sleep schedule. Okay, it sounds something which we would teach our kids but not follow ourselves, but it is as important for us as it's for the kids. So you have to chart down what time you go to sleep, what time you wake up, how you feel when you wake up, and if you have had any night terrors or night, the dreams which you have woken up and then you can't go to sleep. So you monitor your sleep, see what's bothering you, and work on that. And also, for the body to be tired to go to sleep, it also needs some rewards. So sleep is like a reward you get. So to get that reward, you should do something which makes you happy as well. You should give happiness to your brain as well, to your body. So do something, a few exercises which make you happy. It can be yoga, it can be meditation, anything that pulls you out of your routine life and gives you that space and mindset to feel better, which gives you a fresh mind. It's like a reset button for you. So have some space for yourself in the day where you can do those activities mainly. And then it's your diet. It depends on what you eat. Like I said, avoid simple carbohydrates and move to complex carbohydrates. So these are difficult to break down in your body, so your body consumes energy to break it down, whereas simple ones are easily broken down and stored. The whatever is required is used, and then it's stored as obesity or fat or cholesterol is what you call. And have little bit of lean protein as well. So proteins are the repairing units in your body, so you need lots of that, which as Indians we are not used to having. We mainly depend on our bowl of rice or chapatis, a bulk of carbohydrates and very less protein. So focus on your proteins, focus on your fibers, and good probiotics for the gut. So these are a few things I would suggest.
So, okay. So, to summarize that, keep yourself happy, some exercises that kick in some amount of dopamine, and good food.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. We have another question from you for you that says, how can I tell if my fatigue is due to hormonal imbalance or something else? What tests should I get done if I suspect a hormonal issue?
Okay. See, fatigue can come in varied things. It can be nutritional deficiencies, it can be your hemoglobin going down, your BP going down. But particularly if it is hormonal one, it is persistent. No matter how much you sleep, how much good quality of sleep you get, it is still persistent. You still wake up tired. And then there is something called brain fog. There is difficulty focusing on things. There is inability to think clearly. It also affects your weight gain or weight loss cycle. Either that person is too thin and unable to gain weight, or he is obese and unable to lose weight easily. So these are a few cofactors or a few symptoms which you can observe when it's a hormonal issue. And coming to the test, mainly the hormones I would suggest you test are your thyroid functions, your T3, T4, and TSH, then your glucose, your fasting sugars, your postprandial sugars, your blood insulin levels, and your HbA1c. So, metabolic disease is like the leading cause of deaths in India, or leading cause of morbidity, mortality in India. Okay. Initially, it used to be infectious diseases, and now NCDs are non-communicable diseases, which also includes diabetes, hypertension, are like a silent epidemic which is going on. And then the next thing you can test is for your cortisol hormones. So these are your stress hormones, which give you the either the fight or the flight state. Okay, that is something else you can test. Then if it is more to do with your hormonal dysfunction causing a mass or a growth in your brain, in your pituitary, then you can move on to imaging and all. But that is very secondary. First you get these basic tests done, and then we move on to that. And another thing what women can do is also get their sex hormone profiles done, your progesterone, estrogen, testosterone. They affect a lot of moods, energies, everything. They decide how we feel, how we wake up, and how we proceed throughout the day. So yeah.
Got it. Got it. We have a question from the live audience. They wanted to know sources of probiotics. You mentioned probiotics, right?
Yes. See, sources of probiotics are mainly your dairy products, your curd, buttermilks, mainly those. Curd and buttermilk is what I would stick to. And then
Mhm.
there are these probiotic drinks like Entrogemini available also. But before having those, I would still suggest consult a doctor. So
Oh,
naturally occurring is 1 cup of curd with every meal you have, preferably during the afternoon.
got it. There is another follow-up question. One second. So, how to get rid of brain fog?
See, there is nothing like you can get rid of brain fog, but you can work towards reducing it. That is again by stimulating the dopamine part of your brain, which is the reward center, which is the good hormone, what you say. So you can meditate for some time, and you can do yoga. You can listen to calm music, which helps you, or some aromatherapies, anything which makes you happy. It's like something which makes me happy wouldn't make the other person happy. So you have to find out what makes you happy, and that is what you have to work on. And as we grow older, especially when we reach menopause, our body, there's an hormone called estrogen which goes down and which leads to brain fog. That is something we can't avoid. So we
Mhm.
have to work towards reducing it, and not like there's no direct treatment for it. Can't get rid of it.
Got it. I know you mentioned some nutrients right now, like probiotics, proteins. So, could you specifically help us with the foods or the supplements that can help boost energy, naturally amongst these nutritional groups?
Sure. So, starting with the simple ones, your iron supplements, which is there in all your red and green fruits and vegetables, green leafy vegetables, your spinach, dates, amlas. Okay. And then moving on to B12, which is mainly in your meat products, and vitamin D directly from the sun, which is like free of cost and available to all. Still, we are scared to go out in the sun. So yeah, those are mainly it. And then proteins, simple lean proteins, which is your chicken, egg, and no, not much of red meat, but some is okay. And fish. For vegetarians, you can have paneer, curd, all your dairy products, your soya beans. Those are excellent sorts of proteins.
Got it. I hope your question is answered. Who asked this question? Sorry, we have another question before I move into my set of questions that I already had. Um, a woman here asks, I have given birth to a baby boy recently in Jan mid. My baby is enrolled with clay as well. And as a mother, how to give importance for both kids as I feel exhausted all the time. So
Okay.
she has two children,
Uh, Okay.
and yeah.
See, I would say you start with planning out your day, and you decide which part of the day, what is the important part in that child's life, when does that child need his mother the most, and you prioritize that accordingly. I know you feel exhausted. First, start with having plenty of water throughout the day. Have to have 3 to 4 liters of water. Start with self care. Think what you want. how you keep your body active and growing. And being a mother handling two kids, it's like a very difficult task, I would assume. So believe in yourself, plan out your day, see what your child needs the most, see what you need the most, sleep on time, wake up on time if possible, if you're not breastfeeding and if the child is sleeping peacefully throughout the day, throughout the night. So maintain a sleep schedule, maintain a clean diet, have lots of fluids, do some simple yoga, meditation, stretching exercise, or go out cycling or swimming or whatever makes you happy. Get out, get that gush of fresh air for like half an hour in the evening when you have time for it. So yeah, this is it.
Okay, thank you so much, Priya. I hope that was helpful. Um, so we spoke about mood swings and mental well-being. You've been talking about kicking in dopamine for yourself, finding out things that make you happy. So, but could you help a little more understanding in terms of science that how do hormones affect the mood swings and anxiety, both anxiety and how happiness and these hormones are connected. So both
No.
ways.
Okay. So hormones are like chemical messengers in our body. Okay. They transport something called your neurotransmitters, which inform the brain how it has to function. Okay. So these neurotransmitters are like your dopamine, serotonin, what I've been talking about. So these are either make the brain feel good or they make the brain feel bad or weak or I'm tired, I'm fatigued. So these are the neurotransmitters which tell the brain how to feel, how your body has to feel. So your hormones transport them. And every hormone has a particular function for it. Some elevate the mood, some make you, sad or depressed. For example, estrogen is like the master hormone. It regulates your memory, your functioning, and your basically your brain skills. So that's why when you reach menopause and estrogen goes down, your brain fogging, your difficulty in concentration, and all that starts. Similarly, progesterone gives you a very calming effect. So, too much of progesterone will make you feel fatigued. Okay. And then your cortisol, your stress hormone, that decides whether you want to fight or you want to run away from there. So, it's like for acute stress, it's cortisol. And then there are your thyroid hormones, either they're overacting or underacting. So they give you specific clinical signs and symptoms. When your thyroids are underacting, you are like gaining a lot of weight, you're intolerant to cold. Whereas when they're acting too much, they're hyperactive, then you are intolerant to warmth, you are very lean, your eyes are propped out. So every hormone has a specific function. So variation with them affects the whole mechanism. So it affects what is given to the brain and how the brain is supposed to feel.
Got it. And as you said, these imbalances could be the reason of what we call like a brain fog or lack of ability to focus. These days we talk about when the term ADHD got popular, we understood ADHD was for children, but these days we also talk about adult ADHD, right? And a lot more people are accepting the fact that probably they suffer from adult ADHD. So that also could be related to these hormones, right?
Yes, yes. So hormones are like the deciders of your body. So they travel freely throughout the body. They are the masterminds of your body, I would say.
Got it, got it. A very big part of women's health is has to do with their menstrual cycle, right? So there is a question from one of the audience who asks, how do periods and PMS impact energy levels, and how can I manage them better?
Okay. So PMS, your premenstrual syndrome, is something very casually spoken about and very casually taken as well. But I would like to point out two things on it. PMS has a dysphoric disorder, okay, wherein your what do you say, the symptoms what you feel, for example the irritability, the anxiety, the mood swings, the outbursts affect your day to day life activities. You are not able to function because of those activities. Okay, one is that, and other one is an exacerbation. It is of some mental illness which you have already had, like an anxiety disorder which acts up just before your periods. Those are very serious things you have to focus on, and those are things you have to consult a psychiatrist for treatment. Okay, it can't be negated telling she's a woman, she's PMSing. It is not that. It is pretty serious. Do consult your psychiatrist, and there is no shame about it. It is something very natural which happens to all women. Okay, our
Got
body is generated by two hormones, mainly your estrogen and progesterone, which prepare your body to become a mother, to carry a child, to give birth in the future. They are also handled by a gland in your brain called pituitary gland. Okay, so when these hormones are released, when they're preparing you to be a mother, when your body is ovulating, when you're menstruating, they also have other actions. They can't just work on the only one thing, which is your uterus. So they create these mood swings, they create this irritability, they create the hot flashes for some people. So, and the stomach aches, which is like very severe for few and non-existent for some. So it is very subjective. Everyone, for example, what I face, you guys wouldn't be facing. So every menstrual cycle is very different, and we have to understand our own body, we have to understand our own menstrual cycle and how we feel about it, and we can never compare it to the other person.
got it. Yeah, I know. PMSing is a very, very loosely used term, especially for women who are out there working. So if they lose their cool, it is loosely mentioned as PMSing. So,
Exactly.
as you said, that is a very insensitive way to deal with it. But it's actually a play of hormones, and there's not much that one can do about it. But
Yes.
so could you specifically help us with ways how we could just manage them better, because these hormones will go haywire during, especially during the menstrual cycle, right? So how do we manage them better to be able to cope with the situations?
Yeah. Yeah. See, when you are PMSing, you have to see how bad it is and how much it is affecting your day to day life. If you can't go to office, if you want a break, then take a break. That is your body asking for it. You can't force yourself to go out there, be at work, and then I don't know, fight with a couple of people there, and then they point out you're PMSing. So don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to your body. Take a break. It's your right to take a break whenever you need it. Your body is more important than everything else. Okay, and then when you're at home, you can do some meditation, some light stretching exercises. For the stomach ache, you can use a good hot water bag, even for the back, and just rest. Keep that as your self care day. Give your body what it's asking for. Eat the right food, sleep on time. Okay, and if it is excessive, consult a doctor. Take what medications you will require.
Got it. Um, so there is a follow-up question from this parent who was talking about managing it with two kids and how she is exhausted and finds it difficult. She says she was detected of aneurysm, uh, which is probably something related to the heart, right before
Okay.
her delivery. And she wants to ask how she can take care of herself now, since she has to manage two children all by herself.
Okay. The key thing she has to do is reduce stress. which is like what she's undergoing. Aneurysm are like dilatations in your blood vessels, which cause when there's lot of pressure in those blood vessels. Okay, and since it has already happened once, chances of recurrence is more. So get help. If you are unable to deal with the stress of two children, there is no shame in asking for help. Okay, because again I'm coming back to the fact that you are important, your body is important. Think about yourself too. And as women, that is not something we are actually taught about. We are taught about thinking about everyone else, the husband, the children, the parents, the in-laws. But I am again stressing on the point, think about yourself, think about what your body needs, how much rest it needs, how much sleep it needs, what it likes doing. Focus on that.
Got it. Got it. Thank you, doctor. I hope your question is answered, Priya. Uh, Somebody here also asked about constant headaches that females complain of, through their day. So, yeah, could you help us with that?
Yeah.
Do
The
these headaches have
first
to deal with, again, the hormones?
yeah, the first question I would ask here is, are you drinking enough water? Okay.
Hmm.
And given the weather, for example, a weather like Bangalore, which is mainly chill and dry, your thirst is almost non-existent because you're not sweating, there's no moisture in the air. You have to take that responsibility to remind yourself to have a glass of water at least once an hour. Okay.
Hmm.
And dehydration is the key cause for these headaches. Hmm.
Got it.
Then next is stress, your cortisol hormones. Okay, it can be either acute stress or chronic stress, which is causing these headaches. And
Hmm.
another very something which we don't realize is spectacles. As we cross the 40 border na, our near vision goes a little low. So once these refraction errors start, your headaches start, and those are some headaches which can be relieved only after you wear glasses. Okay, and this is something we never think of because we think, oh, glasses, then we should have got it when we were kids. Our eyes are okay now, we can see everything clearly. But the near vision is what starts diminishing, and that is what you have to work on. Okay,
Correct.
and
Yeah, I
yes,
mean, these are very everyday things that we ignore about ourselves. As you said, keeping busy with the family, work, everything else is prioritized before ourselves. And
yes,
that's where, whether it is water, eyes, all of that uh, issue comes in. Okay, doctor, could you also help me with another question that one of our audience had, that does pre-menopause impact energy and fatigue? How and how, if yes, then how to manage it?
okay. See, premenopause is just before your periods. Okay, your menstruation happens because your body has not received a fertilized product. So,
Right.
till your menstruation happens, your body was preparing for pregnancy. There was lots of estrogen and progesterone working on your body. There was a lot of hormonal flush during this before the menstruation period. So, there's lot of hormonal activity which causes this. And like I had said, progesterone is a very calming hormone. So, when lots of progesterone is released just before your periods, you feel fatigued, you are low on energy. Okay, because your body is focusing on something else. Your body is focusing on your uterus. There is less focus on other parts of the body.
Hmm.
So again,
Got
what you have to just do is stimulate your happy center. That's it. Okay.
I think from what I'm reading from all your answers is all of these problems and their solutions lie with hydration, the kind of food we eat, and um, most important is self-care, right?
Yes. Yes.
uh, so yeah, I see where all this is leading to. Thank you so much. There's another question for you that says, in today's time and age where we are busy with our professional lives, busy taking care of the home, children, parents. Also, this is the age where our parents are aging, right? So they also need as much care. So we're juggling between all of this. But what, according to you, of what you've seen in your career, what is one of the biggest lifestyle mistakes that we are making, and that is impacting the hormonal health, and how do we turn it around?
It is again the same thing. You're ignoring self care. That
Okay,
is the
okay.
biggest lifestyle change what you have made. And given the
Hmm.
current scenario where there is less of physical work, there's less of hard work, it's not that for us as doctors or IT professionals, we are not working hard, but there's no physical work. Our life is very sedentary, and our
Hmm.
food is all fast food, which can be, available instantly to us.
Hmm.
So our food is lacking nutrition, our body is lacking exercise, our mind is lacking sleep. There is
Hmm.
just stress, stress, stress going around. And
Got
ask
it.
for help. That is the key point of it. And self care. Work on yourself.
Got it. Got it, doctor. There is one more question that normally we don't get many women to talk about. At least, I am not a doctor, but when I see amongst my group of female friends, uh, probably we discuss it on a hush hush basis. Is something about the white discharge. So, how much of a white discharge is normal? What is the stage at which a woman should worry about? And can you just demystify that?
Sure, sure. See, white just discharge is your cervical mucus. Okay, so your cervix has lot of mucus in it. So to keep it moisturized, and that is a very normal physiology of it. Okay, when you have to worry about is when the color changes, when it is not transparent and it is thick, curdy white, or it is greenish, or it is brownish. That is one key thing. And if it is foul smelling, if there is any smell from it. Okay, those are the two key points which you have to worry about, and consult your gynecologist or a physician near you, who and you have to start treatment. Okay, the another thing is, during the premenopausal period there's lot of white discharge happening. Okay, which is again normal, and like I said, your body is preparing, it was preparing to have a baby, it was getting more mass muscle, it was building a safe environment for the baby. So now slowly it is pushing out, since the baby didn't form, that is slowly pushing out all that was created. So before the menstruation, if you're having lots of white discharge, that is fine, that is normal. But again, if it is smelling bad and if it has an odd color to it, then do consult, do get treatment.
Hmm, got it. Um, these days, also, there has been a lot of awareness that is building up around cervical cancer, right? So, doctor, if you could help us with some information around cervical cancer itself, and how what are the symptoms that a woman should look for by herself, so that would cause an alarm, and where she should seek help. So can you please help us, enlighten us a little more on that?
Sure, sure. See, if you go back in time, if you go back like another 30, 40 years, what was very prominent were epidemics of infectious diseases. You would have heard of cholera
Hmm.
outbreaks. Hmm.
Hmm.
And your chicken pox, your smallpox, a lot of infectious diseases were there. But in this generation, if you see in and around you, in a room of maybe 100 people, if you ask how many of them have non communicable diseases, which is your diabetes, your hypertension, your cancers, your COPD, it is quite lot. And these are silent epidemics. Okay. And your cancers, your cervical cancers fall under the same silent epidemics, because unless the disease is in bloom, there are not many signs and symptoms. Okay. And the signs and symptoms are very common to other small diseases which is ignored or treated at a home based setup and all. Mm. Coming especially to the cervical cancer, it is one of the top leading cause of death in women currently. And this has emerged recently matlab in at least last 20-30 years, which is on a rising peak. The main symptoms what you have to look out for are bleeding. That is not your menstrual bleeding in between the periods. If you're bleeding, or after menopause you have started bleeding again. Okay. And dyspareunia, post sex if there is any pain, or during sex if there is any pain, that is something you need to focus on. And yeah, mainly pain, discharges, and frequent any infections, like your white discharges, your infected white discharges, not the normal ones, your curdy white discharge. Those are the key points you have to keep in mind. And you have to get screened yourself for cervical cancer. It's not that just because you're having a curdy white discharge you have cervical cancers. It's just a screening process. It's always safe, better than sorry later. Okay, so every woman has to get preferably above the age of 35-40, start getting pap smears at least once in 2 or 3 years. That is like a minimum requirement. And for kids now, in their vaccination schedule, the HPV vaccine is already included, but when we were kids it was not in our schedule, and most of us were unaware of it until it got introduced to our kids. And there is no right time. Preferably you should have it as a child between 12 to 18 years, but now that time is past. You can still have it. You can still take that vaccine. Again, safe, better than sorry later. So, till you have a uterus, till you have the cervix within you, there's always a chance of the cancer. And given the rising burden of cancers in India, all over the world, it's always better you take the vaccine and maintain hygiene in that area, and consult a doctor, or consult someone who is knowledgeable about it. Never be shy about it.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Another question, again, this is a rising awareness that we've come across, is around the HPV vaccine. And one, of course, I would like you to speak about what is HPV vaccine and why it is important. But also, there are some myths around it, that, whether it is safe for women, safe for women with hormonal conditions, PCOS, will it affect my fertility, or there are so many things that are going around, but what is the science, and what is this HPV vaccine? Whom is it meant for? Whom is it not meant for? Could you help us with that information?
Sure. See, basically, when we say a vaccine is a component of the virus, okay, which is either inactivated or dead and introduced in your body in small amounts. So, what a vaccine does is it goes into your body and activates your immunity system. Mm. What your body thinks is, oh, I have received this virus in the body. I need to act on it. So there's lot of immunity in normal terms which is activated, and your body is ready to fight for it. Okay, so this is the concept of any vaccines. It's not just HPV vaccine, any vaccines. And coming specifically to HPV vaccines, it's not only for women, even men can take it, because it's human papilloma virus. Okay. And papilloma virus, other than being directly associated with cervical cancer, it also causes n number of other diseases like warts, or a very simple, even men get warts. So even men getting vaccinated for HPV is okay. And who shouldn't get HPV vaccine, I would say pregnant mothers, and then people who are allergic to a component of HPV vaccine before, they shouldn't repeat one. Other than that, it's overall safe. There is no direct contraindication. And again, it is just activating your immunity system to work on the papilloma virus if it affects you in the future. It's not 100% protection, or it's not 100% cure. It gives some amount of protection which your body doesn't have. It just boosts your immunity.
Got it. So is there I know kids today are able to get HPV vaccine, but is there a age range for adults in which they should, or beyond which it is not helpful?
Until you
Is it,
have a uterus, better to take.
what about men?
Men also, they can take it anytime in their life. We give it until at least your until they reach the geriatric part of it, once the sexual activity comes down. So till then.
Okay, got it. That helps. There are a few more questions for you from the audience. I'll just pick it up. So yeah, an audience here. Yeah, Chetna, she asks that I have a 18-month son, and now after end of the day, I have a lot of body ache and leg pain. Can you suggest something to solve this problem?
Yes, take a warm water bath, add some salt to that water. If you have a bathtub or something in your house, well and good, soak in that warm water with some salt in it, preferably Epsom salt. That is very relaxing on your muscles. And running behind a child, there's lot of passive workout that happens. So relax your muscles. Listen to some good music as you dip in the bath or as you take the shower. Get some good aromas in the house. I have, it's like aromatherapy, some essential oils which calm down your brain. So yeah, these helps. Again, don't go to painkillers. That is something I would completely say no to unless you consult a doctor for it.
Got it. Uh, yeah, one other question we have around HPV vaccine is that does it impact the fertility of a woman?
Not really.
Okay. And you were mentioning pap smear right now. Could you elaborate a little more on that for the audience to understand what is it, and who should get it
Sure. See,
with
pap
reference to
smear.
the cancer history in the family or something like that?
Sure. See, pap smear is a screening tool for cervical cancer or any atypical cells in your cervix. So, what we do is we take a sample of your cervix and it is looked under microscopy to see whether the cells are normal or not. That is the simplest thing. Okay, so this is not very sensitive, but it is like it's the most common test done and it is easily available compared to the other tests which are more expensive and not easily available. So if you have a positive family history like your mother or aunt with uh, carcinoma, or who they have undergone treatment, then definitely once you cross the 35 age, I would say you screen once every year. And every woman should get screened by at least once by the time they reach 35. And if there is no family history, if there is no risk factor matlab there are no symptoms, or the test was clear the previous time, then she can repeat it once in even 5 years.
Got it.
Okay, but if there are risk factors, then screen at least once in 1 to 3 years,
Got it.
so that
Got
you
it.
detect it early if in case something happens. That's it. And earlier the detection, better the cure.
Got it, doctor. We
Yeah.
have a couple of questions for you around breast cancer as well. So, someone here asked that if no one in my family had a breast cancer, does that mean I'm not at risk?
Not true. See, risk factors are it's not just genetic. It's what you eat. and how much you work out, how much of stress you are under, everything matters. So when we come to cancer, we never say okay, this only causes this cancer. We call it risk factors and not the cause for the cancer. So risk factors can be n, but yes, if there's no positive family history, then your chances of getting the breast cancer is definitely reduced, but it's not a definite no.
Got it. Also, there's follow-up question on that um, does wearing a bra at night increase the risk of breast cancer?
It depends mainly on your size of the breast and not on wearing bra throughout the night. Okay. If
Mhm.
you have heavy breasts, then your chances of getting the cancer are a tiny bit higher than the people with smaller breasts. So if you uh, external trauma to those breasts can also be a risk factor, which is your bra compressing it throughout the night, can be a risk factor for you developing breast cancer, but again, it's not a direct cause.
Mhm. So then, are there some lifestyle changes that one could make to, stay away from, as in just to be able to reduce those risk factors?
Yes. First of all, you have to work on your BMIs, your weight. Uh, Reduce lose weight if you are obese or in the overweight region. Then your substance uses, your alcohol, smoking, or any other substance, stop it. Okay, definitely smoking you have to stop. Alcohol can be moderately reduced. Hmm, but basically your lifestyle changes and your diet, reduce simple carbohydrates or lots of sugar, refined foods, reduce all that, eat healthy, work out right, sleep better, and that's it. Those are the key. Reduce stress if possible.
Got it. Got it. Um, there is one more question. Sorry, you have a lot of questions coming from the audience.
No worries.
Yeah. Can I take calcium supplements for the pain related? This is with the same mother who was talking about body ache and leg pain. Can I take calcium supplements?
I would suggest you to get tested how much your serum calcium before starting the calcium supplement. But if you have, for women who have reached menopause or in the perimenopausal age, you can definitely start on calcium. But if you are a young mother of like 30, 35, 40, then do test before starting calcium. There's no harm in starting calcium, but always excess of any nutrient is not good.
Got it. Since we're talking about, pain and leg pain, uh, there is another question once again around bone health. Uh, Yeah, so do women really need to worry about bone health before menopause, or how do they manage their bone health?
I would say don't worry about bone health till perimenopausal age because your estrogen and progesterone are enough for your bone. But do eat calcium rich foods, like mainly your dairy foods, your nuts and legumes. Do focus on diet, don't focus on additional supplements. But postmenopausal is some additional supplements are required. But till menopause or at least till perimenopausal, focus on your diet. Your body will do enough for you.
Got it. There are more questions coming around these supplements, so about multivitamins. So, these days we come across so many TV commercials that talk about multivitamins and how women above 30 should start taking multivitamins to balance their, different nutritional requirements. So, what do you have to say about that?
I would say unless you eat a balanced diet, until you eat a balanced diet, there's nothing to worry about if you're eating one. Or else, what you can get are micronutrient deficiencies, which are not really very significant unless they're causing major symptoms in you, like hair fall or severe joint pains that you can't move around at all. Okay, don't go for supplements unless they're actually deficient in your body. Focus on your diet, focus on your exercises.
Got it, Dr. Anvita. I think this has been a really, really enriching session for the audience, also for me, because I relate to a lot of these issues that people are complaining about with myself, with my colleagues, with my family, other women in my family. So, but yeah, thank you for your time today, and it has been a very, very enriching session. Um, I
Thank you.
hope the
Thank you so
audience
much.
has also found, answers to their questions, and will implement more of this life. Just to summarize all of this, I think audience here, what Dr. Anvita has to say is eat healthy, drink enough water, and keep yourself happy. Do stuff for yourself, whether it's taking, sometimes it might also mean taking a break from parenting, right? Keep your child with a trusted adult and take the time out for yourself, whether it is for a workout or could be a simple walk around a garden near you or on the street. So whatever makes you happy. So
That's
am
right.
I correct, Dr. Anita?
Perfectly put.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time
Thank
today. Have a great weekend. Have a great weekend to the people in the audience for your time. And thank you for taking out time to think about yourself, do something to get a better, a healthier life for yourself. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.